Good morning. Welcome to a hump day edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Hudco Roofing. HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. National Signing Day, y'all. How about it? Little NSD action. Tigers in the mix for 6 prospects today. We will go over those 6 shortly. I'll tell you my feelings on LSU's opportunity to land each of them. I did have a lot of very interesting conversations last night about the biggest prospects on the board, Jacoby Matthews, Harold Perkins. So I'll tell you what I know. Do me a favor, YouTube, smash that like button. Facebook, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. Okay. And of course, LSU basketball lost to Ole Miss, and that is a terrible loss. That is the first bad loss of the season. To this point, LSU had no quad 3 or 4 losses. They were 8-0 in quads 3 and 4 against quads 3 and 4 opponents. To desperately need a win, to be playing that team on your home floor and to find yourself down 24, that is not a talent issue. That is not a injury, health issue. That is an effort issue, and that was a problem in the first half. And like we've seen LSU do so many times, they got down big. They expended so much energy to get themselves back in the game, which they did. And then they just couldn't make the plays late to complete the comeback. So that was a terrible loss. And this team is at a very formative moment, pivotal moment in their season where they got to decide, are we actually going to be a contender, or are we just going to let the amazing start, the core of this team, just disintegrate into a team that maybe makes the tournament? But if you're in, you're likely talking about a one and done type scenario. I don't know. They got to make that decision. So at this point, nothing's given. Okay. Let's say some good mornings. We'll go over signing day. By the way, there's 6 prospects that LSU's keeping an eye on today. 6 LSU targets that will have an LSU hat on the table. Cornerback Jalen Davis Robinson. If you missed it, he was on AFR yesterday. He announces at 9:30. He's a 3-star out of Texas. LSU offered him last Monday. He came to campus this past weekend, did an official visit. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, that dude was just pumped to have an LSU offer, called it his dream school. Like, I would just be fallout stunned if that went any other way. So Jalen Davis Robinson at 9:30 a.m. Trevante Citizen is at 11 a.m. There's no one that I've talked to has a great feeling about Citizen. The LSU guys think he's going to pick LSU. The Florida guys think he's going to pick Florida. The Miami guys think he's going to pick Miami. The Auburn guys think he's going to pick Auburn. That's the running back out of Lake Charles. He announces at 11 a.m. That'll be live on ESPN. Same with Danny Lewis. That's an LSU-Florida battle. And LSU, he was committed to Cincinnati. Of course, Mike Denbrock was the OC at Cincinnati. LSU needs a tight end, and he's a Louisiana guy who's still on the board, but he had also been recruited by Billy Napier when Napier was at ULL, so they have a previous relationship there. I don't know that you feel great about that, but hopeful. Harold Perkins moved his announcement time to 3:30. That's the linebacker out of the Houston area. Wide receiver Caleb Douglas is at 1:30. And then Jacoby Matthews is at 6 p.m. So here's what I'll tell you, okay? I had a lot of conversations last night about all this stuff, NIL related and everything. And by the way, LSU has a big NIL gathering tonight at the Stadium Club at like 6 p.m. So all business owners and everything are invited. Hudco was invited, so Terrio and Tilly and I were all invited to be there. Anyway, here's what I can tell you. For Jacoby Matthews, and I've mentioned this for a while, his decision is very much NIL based. He wants to go to LSU, but Texas A&M is offering more. And the way it was expressed to me is that Jacoby wants to go to LSU, his family wants him to go to A&M, or wants him to go wherever he's going to get the most money. And there was a significant gap between what LSU was offering, which I believe was in the 20, 25 range per year. Whereas A&M's offer sheet was 100. But here's the interesting part, and this is what was explained to me looking at the A&M sort of offer sheet that they're presenting. So, and this is where if you're an LSU fan, it's positive. This also explains what happened with Harold Perkins. So, the A&M offer sheet is, like for Jacoby, was 100 per year over 4 years, so $400K over 4 years. Now, some have assumed that was cash. It's not all cash. When you look into the offer sheet, there's an allowance for like rental car. I think there's travel. There's some other things in there like that. To where the cash is actually maybe like 80, which is still really good, right? But here's the other kicker. The payments are broken up by semester, and you don't get the payment until 60 days into the semester. They're basically trying to prevent kids from showing up, getting a lump sum, and bouncing. So if your lump is 80, you get 40 a semester, call it, and you have to wait till 60 days into the semester to get it, and that goes semester by semester. So the idea, well, they're going to give you $400K, isn't exactly here's a check for $400,000. So when you break that down, and then the other thing that was kind of explained to Jacoby's family is, look, and also if your son is in College Station, then you're traveling, you're paying gas, hotel, all that stuff throughout the year to go see him, see games, all that stuff. That's another $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a year in gas and hotel and all that sort of stuff to travel. So it lessens the value even more. So anyway, I guess the point is the sell has been, hey, look, the A&M offer that you think was this is actually this cash, and then whenever you factor in the additional expense you're going to incur, it's this. And LSU might have been here, and they bumped it up, so they've closed this gap. So the question is, how much of this gap really is worth taking a discount to have your son the place he wants to be, playing for LSU, all that sort of stuff. So anyway, I do know also that Jacoby Matthews' dad was meeting with an LSU booster this morning to see, like it was supposed to be early. I don't know what time it was supposed to be early this morning to see if they could finalize that. So if that goes well, I think you have a lot of signs pointing to Jacoby Matthews ending up at LSU. With Harold Perkins, there's a similar, what I just explained to you is why Harold Perkins decommitted from Texas A&M. He thought he was going to get $400K, or actually his deal was $125 a year, so it was $500K. And as it turns out, it wasn't actually that, and you have to stay 4 years to get it all, and you get the portion that's cash 60 days into the semester and whatever. And so he decommitted. I think his family, and he would love to see him at LSU. It's very much, they feel like going home. They're from New Orleans, obviously. They evacuated after Katrina to Houston and stayed. And I think if you ask LSU people today, they would tell you they're confident on Harold Perkins. But there's a wild card that's come into the mix here in the last 48 hours, and it's Billy Napier. Napier is, from what I've heard, not only from LSU people involved in structuring NIL deals, but also from people at Florida. I did an interview with a Florida guy yesterday and we talked. Billy Napier apparently is going ham on NIL. I mean, like, all in. I don't know who it is that is funding it at Florida. I don't know all that. What I can tell you is that I heard it both from people at Florida and people who cover, or people who are working with LSU with respect to NIL. And the connective tissue there obviously are the student athletes. That Napier is going ham. So listen, nobody ever has a bad visit anywhere, right? And nobody ever gets everybody. You don't get everybody, right? It's not possible. Like you're like LSU's not getting all 6 of those guys today. You need to prepare yourself for that. I don't know what everybody's going to do, but I do know LSU's not going to get all 6. They just don't. That's just not how it goes. You get some, you win some, you lose some. That's just how it goes every year. So be prepared for that. And I do believe that Napier is going to pull a surprise somewhere today. With the way that those conversations went yesterday, as all in as he is, as much as apparently he is hammering the NIL angle, he's going to pull somebody today that we're not surprised. Maybe it's Danny Lewis, maybe it's Harold Perkins, I don't know. But the thing that has me leery with Perkins is he's a guy that in every interview he's done has mentioned NIL. In every interview he's done. So, what I'm throwing a hypothetical. I really don't know if this is going to happen, but what if Florida jumps in today and says, "Hey, we'll give you 5 cash over 3 years." I'm just guessing. I don't know. But like, what if they came and make him that boom offer? I think he goes there. So, all right, that's what I know. Signing day, always interesting, never boring. But that's what I know. So let me know what y'all think. Joey Vincent, good morning. Sports Fan 79, good morning. Love the shows. Thank you so much. Trivia Carter, good morning. That really happened last night. That happened last night. LSU got down 24 to a really bad Ole Miss team on their home floor. Bad. Spurge, morning, Matt. 4 billion. 4 billion. What did I miss the 4 billion, Spurge? Sorry. What did I miss the 4 billion? Ghastly Gamer, what's up? Donovan Peterson, what's up? Eric Wilderotter. Basketball give me flashbacks to 2015 football. Yeah. Well, they didn't lose out because they did beat Texas A&M in the carry off Les Miles game. They lost 3 in a row. And then they beat A&M, and then they beat Patrick Mahomes and Texas Tech. But yes, very similar. Great start, bad finish. Rob Gosnell, good morning. Excuse me. Let's see. Sportsfan 79, do you work for HUDCO? So I'm a part owner of HUDCO. I joined HUDCO as a partner last year. So yes, I'm an equity partner in HUDCO. Trey Guy, good morning. Thomas Lamont, I lost so much faith in this basketball team. I'll put it to you this way. It's so clear. Listen, it's so clear how much this team misses Xavier Pinson. I mean, the offense is completely disjointed. And as a result, other guys have had to play more minutes. Look at Eric Gaines. And I think Eric Gaines has done yeoman's work. But Gaines, Gaines coming off the bench and being defensive energy, giving you 20 minutes a night, that's way better than Gaines starting and playing 32 minutes a night. Now, Gaines did come off the bench last night. Pinson started and played 16 minutes, and it's nice to see Pinson's minutes going up. But Pinson didn't do much. He had 3 turnovers and an assist, didn't score. Like, it's very clear he's still coming back. I mean, even running with that brace on last night looked so awkward. I feel for him. But they're not the same team right now that they were when they had the great start. They're not the same team. Jesse Post, what's up? Let's see, Eric Wilderwater. When NIL first started, I remember you pointing out some kind of fair market value stipulation, i.e. you can't pay a person $400,000 if their market value is $10,000. Is that happening? Sorry if I'm off. No, Eric. Well, first of all, it's not happening. And I would be okay with that. Like, I would be okay with a fair market value. But fair market value is what someone's willing to pay. Now, I mean, if you want to look at, say, what is a standard influencer marketing deal worth? Well, that varies. I mean, I'll tell you, like, from someone who lives in that space, like, I mean, a typical CPM, which is a cost per 1,000 impressions on social media, is about $10. So it's $10. It's a $10 CPM, so $10 per 1,000. So let's say if you post and you get 1,000 impressions on your post, well, that post to a marketer should be worth about $10. So that should give you some perspective about how a lot of these people are very, very much overpaying. I mean, Eric, I'm a free market capitalist. If someone can get something, go get it. To the point you're making, I'd love to see that happen. I don't know how you make that happen. Jesse Post, Wendell Norman, hey Brandon, what's up? Are you reevaluating the basketball team? Yeah, I mean it's just, last night was terrible. That was the first bad loss of the year. I could understand. No one's gonna crush them for losing at Auburn. Like, do you understand now? Auburn's the best team in the country. Losing at Bama and at Tennessee shorthanded, there's no crime in that. Arkansas is the hottest team in the league right now, aside from Auburn. Pretty good basketball team. Disappointed to lose that one on your home floor, but tough game, tough league, all that stuff. Last night was inexcusable. To be down 20, Ole Miss is bad, y'all. Ole Miss is a bad basketball team, and then with 10 minutes left in the game, they lost their starting point guard. They were shorthanded for the final 10 minutes. Bad. YMVRR, still glad we didn't go with Napier. That's fine. I'm not telling you, I'm not trying to convince you one way or another. I'm just telling you what I heard, which is he is going ham on the NIL space. Keith H, we need a little Hudco hustle. I'll get to it, Keith. Hang on. Rapping batches. Trey Guy, will it be ASCII Rock tonight? Probably not, but we'll see. Spurge, what's good? Oh, price tag for the Broncos, $4 billion. That makes sense, yeah. Scott McClendon, no more excuses for LSU basketball. I'm not saying fire Will Wade, but I saw no effort and hustle. That's true. I mean, last night was not good. The effort in the first half was abysmal. And to the idiots that are criticizing and firing Will Wade, I want to remind you of something. Will Wade inherited a team that won 2 games the year before he showed up. That was the worst season in 50 years. He got them to the NIT in year one. He's been to the NCAA tournament every year since. He's won the SEC. In the last 3 years, he's won more SEC games than any other team in the league, and has them ranked with the top 15 net right now. If you are saying fire Will Wade or he's overrated or crushing him and all that, you are just stupid. You're stupid. Like, you've completely lost perspective, and you're the kind of fan that I hate, that makes my job unbearable at times. Earl, what's good, man? Lawrence Burley, Shelby Kelly. Baseball's almost here. AJ Schubert, what's up? How about baseball season? Looking forward to it. They do look stacked. What kind of insight can you give us about the pitching staff? So check out 2 Fridays ago at 5 o'clock, Terrio gave a rundown of the pitching staff. Lots of arms. They need to figure out roles. I think Raiselman starts the season as your closer. If I had to peg it today, your rotation would be Fontenot, Coleman, Floyd would be your rotation. Caleb, I'm glad they waited to the last minute to have this NIL meeting. Well, better late than never. Travis Tomplay. Terrible parents would want their kid to be miserable to play at the school he doesn't want to be at. Travis, you got to keep in mind, brother, you use the word miserable. There is no miserable situation, okay? Every LSU, Texas A&M, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, great facilities, great coaches, great fans, great facility, all of it, okay? You're not miserable. A kid can want to go somewhere, but then different circumstances pull. What you don't understand is what it's like to be poor. That's what you don't understand. And I don't to that degree don't understand it either, and never will. So be careful casting stones when you don't actually know what's going on with the family. Okay? That's the thing I would tell you. When a family has no money, when they've been evicted from their home, and you have an opportunity to make money, it puts a lot on a kid and it sucks. But you've never walked a mile in those shoes. So check yourself. Kelly Gross, Skip, what's up? Ronnie Dugas, Sherry Gotro, Chris Keller, Roland Guitro. LSU last games 1-5 yet? They've lost 4 or 5. They lost 5 or 6. It's bad. It's bad. There's no doubt. Matt Leonard just tuned in. Who are you talking about with the cash offer? I was walking through how A&M has structured their NIL deals, and I was talking about Jacoby Matthews and Harold Perkins. Alan Owings, first-time commenter, listen daily. Appreciate the news updates. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate you for being there. Y'all do me a favor, Facebook, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. YouTube, smash that like button. We appreciate you for being there. David Rabb, Brian Arsenault. It appears men's basketball is running 0 offense. Maybe Kim can give them a kick in the behind. Look, we've talked about this all year. Their half-court offense is non-existent because they have no shooters. And when they get opportunities around the rim, they've struggled to finish. This is a team that when they were rolling was getting points in transition. They were creating offensive opportunities off of their defense. And when you remove Pinson from the lineup, it's caused a domino effect that shifted everything they do. And it shows how important he is as far as a linchpin. Mark, LSU basketball ain't going to make the NCAA tournament. Yes, they will, Mark. They're going to make the tournament. They're still a top. Let me see what the net is right now. LSU is currently, they're 15 in the net. They're 15 in the net. They have 4 quad 1 wins, 5 quad 2 wins. They do not have a quad 4 loss. They lost last night was a quad 3 loss, which is bad. And you still have games ahead against Kentucky and Arkansas and Alabama in the SEC tournament. LSU is going to go to the NCAA tournament. The disappointing part is with every loss, it further damages your seed. And, do you ultimately get in as a double-digit seed that's going to lose in the first round? Do you get in as an 8-9? You play the 8-9 game, and then you're rewarded. You get to play Baylor in round 2, and then you're bounced. Maybe, and that's unfortunate. Hey, Dad. Good morning, Megan Hurst, Earl Lytle, Matt. Who will we have at quarterback for our Saints next year? I'm still going to say Jameis. He's got to be the odds-on favorite. Michael Thacker, morning Scone, did Schefter lose any credibility? No, he wasn't wrong. I mean, Michael, he wasn't wrong. Tom Brady retired. I mean, what do you mean? Lose credibility? He was right. What are you talking about? He and Darlington nailed it. Brady waited an extra day because he was pissed that he didn't get to break it on his social media. But he was right. Nick Bradley Hole, if they don't get them to sign this class, they'll come through next year through free agency. Andrew Juge, what's good, man? I feel like National Signing Day is kind of whatever these days. If you don't like the guys you want, you'll hit up the portal. There is some truth to that, but you can't build a consistent winner through the portal. You can supplement your roster through the portal, but you can't build your roster through the portal. What Brian Kelly's having to do this year is an outlier, and the thing I'll keep mentioning is, as psyched as everyone is about getting transfers, like, you're not as good with Jark, Bernard Converse, and Mekhi Gardner at corner as you were with the guys you recruited. Eli Ricks, Dwight McGlothern. You're not as good at that position as you were. So you can supplement your roster, but you can't build your roster. Richard Kahn, good morning. Thank you. Interview with the Texas kid was amazing. All right. Paul Merrills, Jesse Brown. Are the NIL deals incentive-based? No, but they do have, I'll tell you from the offer sheet I saw from an A&M deal, is they do have caveats where they can restructure deals if a player does well. Like let's say you're in at a certain level and you become an All-American. Well, they can restructure the deal to get you more. They leave that caveat in there. All right, I got to get going. Let's see. Apollo Balboa, how do you justify LSU losing record being in the top 25? Well, they're not going to be in the top 25 anymore after that loss. That was a bad loss. For the same thing I just told you, they're a net 15. Like, none of their losses were bad losses. Everybody loses in college basketball. Hell, Auburn's lost. I mean, Bama's a good team. They beat Baylor, who's one of the top 5 teams in the country, and Bama lost to Georgia. Teams lose in basketball. Like, LSU's not done losing. They're going to lose again. But you try to have your share of good wins against a tough schedule, mitigate or eliminate bad losses, and then see where your resume falls. That's the nature of it. This isn't college football. It's not you lose once and then you don't get to play for anything of significance. Let's see. Corner from Oklahoma State has proven to be a good corner. It's Jark Bernard Converse. I interviewed him last week on AFR. Go listen to it. That's fine. But he's not Dwight McGlothern or Elias Ricks. Those guys are going to be first-round draft picks. He's not them. All right, y'all. I got to go. Last thing. Kyle Milliken, Matt, do you think NIL will slow down the transfer portal due to making kids sign contracts to stay at school? No, I don't. Because I think guys will get NIL deals when they transfer if they're good players. Okay, y'all have an awesome day. I got to bounce. Shout out to Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Remember, Hudco Hometown Heroes. If you hire us to do a roof, we'll take a portion of our net profit from that deal and give it to a student athlete of your choice. Any athlete, any sport, any school. You pick. Spread the word. Just another reason to do business with Hudco. And, of course, Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. New year, new career, brortho.com. All right, y'all have a great day. LSU Daily coming up later this morning. AFR 3, National Signing Day, and all that jazz. We'll see you. Peace.